Discover insights on the Hyundai Veloster styling, interior, handling, and more from a real owner. Find out if it lives up to its name and if you should buy the car. The Hyundai Veloster was first introduced in 2011 as a replacement for the Tiburon. The name Veloster implies speed, and we'll find out if it lives up to that name. Let's start though with a look on the outside.
First like is going to be the styling. I looked at many of the cars on the lot and this one just kind of like spoke to me.
The styling certainly makes the car stand out on any lot. The overall body shape is heavily sculpted for a sporty look. There's a tapered roofline that flows beautifully into the rear window, creating a continuous glass expression on the roof and back. That's played off with the other window line, which wraps around from the sides to the front and again to the side. The resulting effect is sort of like a reverse flying roof. The strangest quirk of this car is the three-door configuration, one on the driver's side and two on the passenger side. What were they thinking? In front, there's what seems to be an aerodynamic intake, but that's fake.
The one thing that I liked about the turbo, as opposed to the other models for this one, it had the bass mouth grille, which is sort of like the large, open, sort of like grille styling. So it just looked different. It almost looked aggressive, if you will.
Massive fenders add to that aggressive expression. The rear has a sports car-inspired diffuser along with cool center dual exhaust. Very nice. And being a compact car certainly has its advantages.
I can get in and out of parking spaces really fast. I can just zip around the city, and it's great.
The inside continues some of the race-inspired styling. There's the blue grab bars that also show up as door handles and sport bucket leather seats with contrasting striping. The dashboard is dominated by a beautifully designed, symmetrical, V-shaped control cluster with the start-stop button at the bottom. The instrument cluster is analog and infotainment is through a nice 7-inch touchscreen. Overall, there's a fair amount of hard plastics throughout.
I would say that the finishes are just not quite there, but I think if you actually can get this car and just maintain it, I think you'll be perfectly fine.
Given the tapered roof, the rear headroom can be tight. But there is some relief.
The panoramic sunroof is awesome just because I'm 6'1", and to not have that exposed space above me just makes, it would feel compact and tight and just claustrophobic, but it's amazing.
So now let's get on to the performance of the sports car, and we'll start with the handling.
When I initially bought the car, it came with tires that I felt were a little skittish when I was on certain surfaces, like if it was raining or wet. So I contacted a tire manufacturer and I said, this is the car I have, and if I wanted to go larger, what could I do? Without having to change the wheels, because I thought the wheels were fine. And they gave me a perfect suggestion, and I went with that, and it handles great now, so on surfaces wet or dry.
In this 2014 model, there are two engine choices, both of them 1.6-liter 4-cylinders. The first produces 138 horsepower and 123 pound-feet of torque, and the turbo version produces 201 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. A manual transmission is standard, and an automatic is optional. So, is it fast enough to live up to the Veloster name?
I got the turbo for a reason, but if it could go just a little bit faster, if they just put a little bit few more horses underneath there, or maybe 2 turbos, I don't know. But definitely if it was just a little bit faster, sure.
Now keep in mind that while this is a sports car, it is an affordable one. So, should you buy, consider, or skip the Veloster?
I would definitely consider this car. I would say if you're looking for an economy vehicle and you were looking for something that's, small and fun to drive, I would say definitely this is one to consider.
If you're considering the Veloster, take a look at our owner reviews of some of its competitors. And let's get you on the show.